I'm glad I went because I finally removed like the mystery of this event from my own personal life, but I also wish there was more. That's it, that's my intro. Hey, I'm Amanda, you're watching Swell Entertainment, and today we are talking about the Oddities and Curiosities Expo 2025, their first stop of the year in Los Angeles.
Yes, I do know it sounds like that. No, it's not going to get better. Apparently, I forgot to hit record on this mic while I was recording. It's a shorter video, so I decided to go with it. Many apologies, but this is me acknowledging the issue.
This was a 2-day event. I only went 1 day, but I think that was plenty of time. And since we are talking about oddities and curiosities, I decided to wear what I call my scholar glasses. I did wear these to the event as well because I feel they fit the vibe.
But first, let me tell you about the sponsor for today's video, Squarespace. It is a new year and I am willing to bet that some of you have the goal of starting a new business, or maybe even just taking your business goals more serious. Squarespace is an all-in-one website platform to help you stand out and succeed online. Squarespace has a ton of incredible templates to help you get started, and with design intelligence, you can customize any part of the site. Squarespace makes it super easy to manage your store or start selling digital content, and they make it super easy to manage your payments with Squarespace Payments. Maybe you just want to start small and have a place to showcase your work. They make it super easy to connect all of your multimedia and social media sites. Go to squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/swellentertainment to get 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this video.
Now, the Oddities and Curiosities Expo is actually something that I have heard about for years, and I have wanted to go to for years, not even just for Swell Entertainment, but for myself as someone who likes cool, weird things. But I've never been able to, just because it like never worked with the schedule. I missed the announcement. It just never worked out. But one of my goals this year, because what I didn't do last year, was really any capital W weird events. And I'm not using the word weird derogatory. I just mean like weird as in not like standard. I did a lot of sporting events last year and I enjoyed it, but also I want to go ghost hunting again. I want to, you know, see what fetishes people are in. You know, I want to be nosy with a capital N, you know, like I want to go see some stuff. Okay. And so that's one of my goals this year, is to do more weird events, and like, again, capital weird, not derogatory weird, but like you get my point. And so when my friend was like, oh, do you want to go with me to the Oddities and Curiosities Expo? I was like, oh my God, I have time. Let's go. So I went first time, glad I went. Would have liked more. I have gone to quite a few like horror based events, like even just not for you guys, the goal was to go for you guys, and then I just ended up not, for whatever reason. A lot of horror-based events specifically, not that this is a horror-based event, but there's a lot of horror and macabre mixed in with the Oddities and Curiosities Expo specifically. A lot of horror-based events, and also a lot of the vendors that I saw here, I have seen at those horror events, specifically Monsterpalooza, Midsummer Scream, Season Screamings, events like that, HorrorCon, okay? The reason I usually don't end up making a video on it is because I don't feel like there is enough there to make a video on, like not good, not bad, just like not enough for me to comment on. There's been other reasons, like Midsummer Scream when I went last in 2023 was actually a pretty good year for me to go. I had family stuff I was dealing with, so I ended up not making a video on it. What they usually are is they are buy stuff events and then autograph events. There's not always something else. At least with Monsterpalooza, it's great because they do demos and things like that. And then obviously a convention, a lot of conventions have talks and things like that. This was an expo. So specifically, this is labeled properly in that this is a buy stuff event. Okay, this is like a vendor expo. This is the expo. We have some live stuff happening, but it's mostly the expo. So like you are getting what you are being sold, which is good. I just think there could have been more here, especially because they had this at the Los Angeles Convention Center, which is a huge convention center. They had it in the West Hall, a big hall. I'll go straight off of their website for what it is. The Oddities and Curiosities Expo is the largest internationally traveling oddities event showcasing hand-selected vendors, artists, and small businesses with all things weird. You'll find items such as taxidermy, preserved specimen, original artwork, horror, Halloween-inspired pieces, antiques, handcrafted oddities, creepy clothing, old jewelry, animal skull bones, funeral collectibles, and more. We truly have something weird for everyone at our shows. All items you see at our shows are legal to own and sustainably sourced. One thing that the Curiosities and Oddities Expo does that I did not do, they do have workshops. At least they did for this North American stop. I assume they do it at the other ones as well. But these are something that you pay for separately, which I do think is fine to have. Like specifically, they're dealing with wet specimens. Okay. Like wet specimen, taxidermy things and all of that. Like obviously that's going to be a chunk of money to go and do that workshop. That's fine and dandy. However, I do think that having a space that is like a little fun little crafting space that is not taxidermy or whatever, but like a place where people can like sit and mingle and yap and while they're doing like a thing or, you know, just doing a thing in general, any type of thing, I think would be really cool. The other thing that was not here that at all, that I was genuinely shocked by, I was truly shocked that you guys didn't have psychics. No palm readers. Most of the anime conventions I go to have a palm reader or something. Like most comic book conventions, there's at least one, always. Whether they're there legally, I don't know. But like, especially here in LA where there's a bajillion, like you could have had a whole artist alley that was just palm readers. Like it would have been, I don't know. I think that would have been cool. I was shocked by that. You guys had a henna artist, which is very cool. But also it's one of those things where it's like, because I go to so many events, especially here in LA, I recognize so many of these vendors because I've seen them all over the place. And like, again, I assume that they are changing out vendors based on stops. That would be my assumption because obviously you've got different stops, different local people that have different things. Like that would be really cool. Like I would love to go see this in like another state, like in the East Coast. I think that would be really cool. And then you have more things to do. So then it's not just buy things, eat convention hall food, and watch the shows. Every other half hour, they would essentially have a different person perform. Okay. I went with my friend Valentina, and when we went, they had two different acts. They had a circus act and then a solo performer act that was sword swallowing and doing like a little comedy bit with it as well because her music wasn't working, which is very fun. Okay. And like the group would fill up, like people would come and stand around and do this. In this instance, when you have this much space, I think chairs would have been fine, but people standing around I think was fine as well. And like the kids liked it that were there because they could run up and like get the things that were being thrown and things like that. So I think no chairs was fine, but I would have, you had the space for chairs, but you didn't need chairs. And there were places to sit to eat in the food area of the convention hall, but I believe that is like convention hall deemed versus like Oddities Expo. As far as ticket prices go, like can't beat it. On the website, when I was looking at this earlier to prep for this to make sure like see if prices were on up, it did say $15, but the ticket that I got was not $15. Yeah, my general admission advance ticket, I think maybe because I bought it the night before, so maybe that's why. It is cheaper when you buy the tickets early than day of. It was $10 with a 30-cent processing fee and a $1.25 service fee because fees. So it came to $11.55 for entrance. Not bad at all for an event like this. Again, for entrance, access to the vendors and the sellers, access to the merch spot for the actual Curiosities and Oddities Expo. The only thing I bought from this event was magnet for my magnet collection for the Oddities event. A little personal thing. I would have liked the year to be on it, like the current year, but like that's just me with my collector brain being like, I would have liked a year. But they had two different magnets and I got the one that looked like a little Ouija board. Fun. A $10 base price fee or $15 day of to get into the venue and have access to the venue. Everyone shows up dressed really nice and fun. Like everyone's either in like their, you know, like horror garb, their all black garb, me looking like I'm coming to investigate a hidden library, you know, or, you know, some people were like fully in cosplay and dressed up in costume and stuff. That's really fun. And then the live performances as well. I think that's a fairly good price. I can't argue with that price. I'm sure there are people that'd be like, it should be free, but you know, I would hope that because they're able to charge prices like this, they keep the vendor prices pretty low. That would be my hope, but I obviously don't know. I don't have that number. So I do think that's good. But then also I think just because of the, you know, to keep people around as well and like spend more time. Cause like sometimes like there are people like I did this whole thing in one day. I am fine with doing that in one day. I did not need to go back another day. I don't think I missed anything really going a second day. The second day, I probably would have just had less of a selection because people would have gone through things that were there already for the vendors. But they did have a couple of like banners and things put up for photos, okay, around the venue for people. Thing is a lot of these were just saying the words Curiosities and Oddities Expo. Some variety would have been nice. Going full anime convention with it and having different like cosplay sets that were like spooky and oddities themed, like one that looks like a library, one that looks like an abandoned manor, you know, like you get my point, like a spooky forest, like things like that would be probably really fun. I get having the logo there because like you want the branding, but like we weren't inclined to get a photo with like just the logo. That's not fun. Or like encourage having a thing that's like, oh, if you take a photo here, like tag us. Here is the, you know, books I got in front of the library set. Hashtag Curiosities and Oddities Expo. Why do I keep doing that? Oddities and Curiosities Expo. And that's easy. You make those once. You have art, you commission artists to do that one time. You have those. You can bring those to every stop. You already have banners, so like that would be fun to do. I just think I fully went to the South Hall. I walked right past the entrance to this hall because I did not see signs, which I don't like. It's fine because the convention hall was open. I was able to walk across the bridge to go to the right hall, but like the convention center and as well as the crypto.com arena is under construction and renovation. So like there is a bunch of like things that are blocked off and covered up. So I think in those instances, a sign would have been necessary, or even just like Oddities and Expo here, you know, things like that. And like, obviously the address is on there, but like, I don't know, you think of the convention center, you're like, okay, let me go to the main entrance convention center. And this is a big convention center, so it's just something to know. There's quite a lot of spooky food vendors, like actual restaurants and stuff out here in LA that probably would like to like do something with you guys if you wanted to do like, oh yeah, we brought, you know, this horror coffee shop in to like sell coffee or something like that. I don't know. I just think branching out would be good because like, yeah, it's an Oddities Expo and all of that, but like, I don't know, more variety, more food so that you're not just like relying on convention hall food and things like that. I would wonder, I assume in other spots you maybe have food trucks that like you just like allow to come, which would be smart. So yeah, not really a food truck spot. Sidewalk dog people, the hot dog people that like do hot dogs and stuff. I'm sure they make money. They always make money out here. They always smell so good. God, it's like just wrapped in bacon, and then there's onions. The onions, they just sit there. It's like they just get the flavor, and then you just put the onions on. Oh God, I need a street dog like right now. There's none over here. Good variety of like different oddities and curiosities as well as artwork and things like that. Some artwork I like more than others, but like that's just personal taste and discernment than anything else. There's not a ton here to talk about. I wanted to talk about this because like I've looked forward to going this for a long time, and I'm glad I went. I'm doing a no buy year, and I stuck to my rule, which my rule is one magnet allowed per events / new city I am in, because I have a magnet collection and it cannot exceed $11.99. I got my magnet for $10. So I did it. I did my rule. I didn't buy anything else. One of my rules is no decor. So like I couldn't buy anything. This was just a bad year for me to go to the Oddities Expo because I'm not allowed to buy anything. But I love, they have so many butterflies. I love a butterfly. I have a few, but like I still need to hang this up. This is supposed to go in that little pocket right there by the lanyards. Also, as you can see, start of the year, we have the empty jar for wristbands and empty walls for lanyards. They don't do lanyards or wristbands here. It was just a stamp. So no, nothing to add to the wall yet, but I do like an oddity and a curiosity. I do like a butterfly sample. I'm not a big taxidermy person. In theory, I did see this beautiful peacock though. When I have a house, a giant peacock in the entryway. That would be real nice. But yeah, all in all, I mean, I can't criticize the cost of the event at all. Like that, you can't beat $10 in advance and then $15 day up. Like that's unbeatable for a one-day event like this. There's more variety, I think, in like things to do and like extra things I think would be good, because then also like the longer people stay, the more money they're gonna probably spend, you know. It's like if you have someone who's like, okay, I'm thinking about this, but like let me go and do my palm reading session or bone witch. We have bone witches out here. They'll do bone reading. They'll read the bones for you. Everyone done that? The bones are sassy. It's fascinating. It's you do that and then it's like, oh, you know what? Maybe I will go get, you know, that raccoon skull I wasn't sure about. You know, maybe I'll go do that. Maybe I'll get that, you know, tail keychain I wasn't thinking of, or that probably haunted doll. Maybe I'll go do that, you know, because you've thought about it longer or you've eaten there and things like that. More food options I also think is good. That's just little recommendations. I mean, I had a good time. I liked the shows. They were fun. They were funny. They were interesting. I'm always interested in shows like that because I'm like, I can't swallow a sword. I don't have any inclination to try. Also, it was crazy because when she did the thing in her nose with like her fake swords, I was like, I have 2 of those hairpins because they're hairpin swords. I have those. Valentina was like, can you do that with them? I was like, I'm not gonna try it. And like this crowd was very fun too. Like even for the live shows, like the audience participation, everyone was very fun, very like excited to jump on stage and like participate and like be quirky and fun and like flirt with performers. It was a fun time. It's a fun group. And so I think like also like just more stuff where it's like, oh yeah, like here's showing off your stuff, or do you want to like hand wrap your stuff? I don't know, something like that might be fun. It's just more like of a community effort, like a space within the space. It's like a community space, I think would be good, but that's just me. Anyways, that's going to be it. Have you ever done a Oddities and Curiosities Expo stop? Is there one that you would like to go to? Is there anything that you've bought from one, or one that you've thought about one, but you've never bought for whatever reason? Are there any capital W weird events that you want me to go to? Let me know, or even better yet, email me them, because I might forget a comment, but like my digital assistant also sees my email, so an email would be good. Let me know, comment down below, or shoot me an email. A reminder, I stream on Twitch. Reminder that Swell Entertainment is now available on Spotify. Reminder, use code SWELL for 10% off on gamer subs. Shout out to my channel members. You also join channel memberships. You can go ahead and click join down below. If you'd like to follow me on all social media, that'll be all up here. And that's going to have a little day. Goodbye. That was a bad wing. I've got this butterfly. I've got these. I have one that's in like this beautiful blue one in like a glass case that I keep all of my like fun gems, like my fun stones, like my fun rocks. Those are in the bottom drawer. So that's all downstairs.